Hello my fellow gardening gals and guys, welcome back to my channel, Serenity Now Garden. My name's Jeannie and I garden in a zone 4B. So today I'm going to be planting this clematis near my front porch, going up an invisible trellis. Some people call this clematis, some people call it clematis, either way. Now the post that I'm growing it up is made of wood. So what you'll need for this project, if you're interested, is some fishing line and some nails. So my post is white, so I actually spray painted my nails white. And a little tip, if you do need to spray paint just some little like brad nails, you could just put them in some cardboard like this to stand them up before you spray paint them, if you need them a certain color. So it makes it a lot easier. Then you'll also need some fishing line. We're going to be tying this. Every foot there'll be a knot. And I'll kind of show you a little closer when I take you outside in a little bit. So I have the plant tag here, and I'm not sure if anybody else does this, but whenever I have plant tags, once I'm done, I put them in a photo album. And that just helps me remember what I have planted if I ever want to buy more or can't remember what something is or somebody asks me about something. So that's just something I wanted to show you. So let me bring you in a little closer here. Okay, you guys, here's a closer look at the plant tag. This clematis is called a Viticella venosa violacea. Sorry if I mispronounced any of those. This clematis gets 4 to 5 inch flowers with a white background, purple edging and veining. It blooms July and August, zone 4 through 8. It takes sun to partial shade. It grows up to 12 feet long or tall, however you look at it. You need to shade the roots and keep the soil cool and moist. And this is a pruning type 3 clematis. There's 3 types of clematis. For pruning type 3, you're going to want to prune in February in the south and in March in the north. And you prune just above the first pair of good, strong buds. Okay, you guys, you can kind of see the plant a little closer here. There's no buds on it yet, but you can see the leaf structure. This plant gets 12 feet tall or long, whichever. What we're going to do is we're going to plant this kind of at an angle towards the post, and then we're also going to plant it just a little bit deeper than how it currently is. I've read that clematis prefer that, and I've always done that with mine in the past, and it's always worked out very well. So let me get changed. We're going to go outside and we'll plant this up, and you'll see how I do the invisible trellis. Okay guys, I'm just going to kind of go through how I'm going to do this. So I'm just taking a nail and I'm putting it at the very top of the post. I'm going to be doing that in 3 different spots. You can always add nails at a later date. I'm just trying to do like the least amount as possible. So if I look a little shaky on the ladders, because I'm really afraid of heights, so you might notice that. I'm going to do another nail in the middle of the post there. And I will be doing one more at the very bottom. So, like I said, you can do a few more if you need to. This whole process took me, including planting the clematis, took me maybe 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to kind of clip this up a little for you just to speed it up. So I'm getting the fishing line out. I'm tying a triple knot to the top nail just to make sure it's secure. Now, you're going to tie a knot every foot all the way down. So there's 1 or 2 ways to do this. You can do what I do, and that is to keep the line on the spool. Just make sure it's tight. You're going to make a big loop and put the spool through the loop. It can be a little bit difficult. It took a little bit of time because the line kept wanting to come off of the spool. So that's why I say just try to keep it tight. Or you could just unravel all the line that you need, cut it off, and work it through that way. I just thought it would be a bit harder. So on that middle nail there, I'm wrapping it around about 3 times just because I want it to keep it tight all the way through. And then I am making a few more knots. So I'm really excited to plant this clematis though. You know, you can deadhead clematis and you can even take off like a foot of the stem and they will be fuller. I have two clematis on the arbor. You could see in the background there. Actually, I have four. I have two different varieties on that. And I just love them. They're gorgeous. But anyways, I'm tying another triple knot to the bottom there. And now we're going to plant up the clematis. So you do not want it too close to the structure, whether it's the porch or the house, wherever you're planting it. You're going to plant it at an angle as well. So come out just a bit. You might see my bird bath behind me there. That thing in my bird bath is called a water wiggler. It keeps it from the water getting stagnant. So it really comes in handy. All right, so I'm going to be adding some of this Burpee organic fertilizer. That's a 444 mixture. I added that in the bucket behind me. In the bucket, I have soil that I'm going to mix in with this native soil. So in that bucket, I have 2 parts black dirt to 1 part compost. And then I put the native soil in and then I'll mix it up. And it also has some of the organic fertilizer there. The reason I do that is because my soil is so sandy, I have to amend it with something. If you have really clay soil, you don't have to do that, or you know, it's just up to you. I do this with all my plants. So we're gonna plant it about 3 to 4 inches deeper than the last set of leaves. Clematis like this, it promotes the growth structure of the roots. And this has always worked for me in the past. I know it seems weird because, you know, a lot of plants, if you plant them too deep, they'll get crown rot, but nope, this works out just fine. I put a little on the bottom there, a little soil with the fertilizer mixture. Just place it in, angled towards that post. And then I'll just be dumping the rest of that soil I have in there around the roots. And you may have seen when I was planting that, I kind of roughened up the roots on the bottom. I always do that with all my plants as well, just to kind of tease them out, you know, just to kind of get them to grow outwards. So I'm just planting it up there and I'm just going to cover it with the mulch and just make sure it's covered. You know, clematis like their roots to be covered and they love moisture. They don't like to get too wet, but there's my plant tag or my plant twists I got at Menards. What I'm doing is I'm just finding like the end of it and I'm going to use one of those plant ties on the fishing line, which you can't see because it's invisible. So I don't do this too tight. I want it to be able to move just a bit. So if you want to do it like right where that nail is, that might help. Like I said, you can always add nails at a later date. Now just give that clematis a really, really good drink of water. Like I said, and make sure it never gets dried out. I'm also going to be spraying some deer and rabbit repellent on there. That's liquid fence. Because as soon as I leave this clematis alone, after I plant it, every rabbit in like a half-mile radius will be there to eat it. Mark my words. All right, so there's the end product. I cannot wait to show you what it looks like when it blooms. Thank you for watching and give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Happy gardening!